Well, we're about to get crowdsourced here this morning. In-person early voting kicks off today in North Carolina.
The entire country will be looking at the state's race for U.S. Senate between incumbent Kay Hagan and House Speaker Thom Tillis. It could determine control of the U.S. Senate next year.
There's a few changes you should keep in mind before heading to the polls later today.
So there's no more straight party voting. Same-day registration has been eliminated. Voters must be registered now 25 days before election.
And a picture ID will be asked for at the polls, but it is not mandatory for voting until 2016.
So we want to know if you plan to head out to the polls before November 4th for early voting.
Our producer Joe Rogers has been tracking your comments on Twitter, Facebook here this morning. Good morning to you, Joe.
Hey, good morning. Apparently early voting doesn't seem that popular.
Really?
Hopefully that'll change today. But we are hearing from voters out there this morning. Romney says, no, did it the first Obama election, the biggest waste of my life.
From Romney.
I don't think that's Mitt Romney.
That's too perfect.
It wasn't the official account tweeting us this morning?
No. Last time I checked, he was not following WCCB News Rising, but
okay.
We'll get right on that.
We got to get the former governor follow the show.
What else you got there, Joe?
JB says no, and I probably won't vote, period. For the main reason, the politicians say they are going to do this, that, and the third. Christopher seems to love early voting. He says yes, early voting for me, pretty straightforward. And then Johnny shares the sentiments of the other commenters. He says no, I make time on election day and do it then.
And here's what I was wondering, and I wonder if we'll get more comments on this. I know personally for me, in a non-presidential year, I won't early vote. But if it is in a presidential election year, the lines can be insane. So you almost have to early vote because otherwise you got to have several hours in order to get through.
Yes, because voter turnout obviously
so much higher,
higher, absolutely, during a presidential election. However, this is such a heated race. Kay Hagan, Thom Tillis, and could control the Senate next year depending on who wins. So hopefully there will be a lot of people out at the polls. I've actually never early voted. Well, no, I take that back. One time. It's been a long time because our work schedule allows us to get out and vote and wait in those lines. And to be totally honest, I kind of love all of the enthusiasm and waiting in those lines and people watching. But for a lot of people, work doesn't allow, so you have to get in the early voting or write-in.
Yeah, or absentee vote.
Yeah.
Do that ahead of time. I like to take the kids on the real election day, if I can, because I like to let them push the buttons and do all of that stuff.
Oh, that's cute.
I just think, well,
that's a good way to train them too and help them learn about the process.
But that's the thing, is trying to figure out, okay, what's too long of a wait? Is 45 minutes too long?
Well, your kids are young. Oh yeah, for them, I think that would be too long.
So that's why I think you got to early vote if it's going to be busy, which typically only happens in a presidential year.
But get out and vote. And I know to one of the posters, Joe, saying, I don't want either of them to win, but sometimes it's lesser of two evils. Do your research, figure out what is most in line with your beliefs.
And you don't have to vote on everything that's on the ballot.
Exactly.
There are other issues that you may want to vote on, whether it's more money for teachers with the taxes, all that other stuff. So maybe you don't like either of the candidates in the Senate race because of all the commercials or whatever. You can still vote in other things.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.